Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone's doing well on this Sunday night. Here we are, closing out the weekend with Honest Hour. Our guest tonight is the one and only Mr. Ralph Mvore. Um, I've been trying to get this man on this show for a minute, but we have gotten him here tonight. Looking forward to this. Oh, okay, you know, and we're all looking to have a good time. A lot to go over, a lot of layers to Ralph. Hello to everyone in the audience. Yep, so we're trying to just do what we do. I want to thank everyone who has supported this show. Um, it's done a lot. It's meant a lot, and I enjoy doing it. But I want to announce that I am moving the show to Thursday or to Tuesday after this week's episode coming up. The following week, we will be relocating until Tuesday nights. Y'all know I do a sports podcast as well on weekends or on Mondays. Therefore, Thursday night football comes on, so I have to be able to watch that to report about it. Mr. Mvore has entered the room, so we're gonna get started.
Hey, yo,
What's going on, brother? How are you
what's up,
tonight?
bro? I'm good. How you doing?
I can't complain, man. I can't complain. It does the body no good.
Can you hear me
I
good? Can you hear me good? Hello?
I can
Hello?
hear you. I can hear you.
Hello.
No,
Thank you
I
for
pre-
having me, bro. I'm
oh,
excited to be here. I'm looking
of
forward to
course,
tonight's show. Want to get into it.
of course, I appreciate it. We talked about this, I think about 2 years ago, and you said I could hold you to it, and here you are,
I
because
am a man of my word.
you don't do many interviews. You
No, I do
don't,
not.
you don't do many interviews, but your will and your being and who you are, this has to you. I had to have you on here. This is an honor, a privilege. For any who don't know, I've known Ralph a very, very long time. He asked me to shoot some pictures for the the first ever Mvore week, and we've been tight and real close ever since. Um, you know, this brother knows a lot, can do a lot. This there's so much to say. No one can say anything bad about you. And if they do, they obviously don't know you.
Well, thank you, man.
Or they're upset that they don't know you, or
Never.
maybe they're jealous. There's a lot of different things, but I'm gonna hop right into it.
I see my people. Hey, Zoda, Manny Mavore, Twin, Jazzy
Yeah,
Mavore.
everyone's in here representing. Appreciate everyone, of course. So, I've been going through your socials. It was a lot,
Mm.
because you post a lot. You're a very busy man. But I also I also watched the Hutsy special that was about you and the Mavore family.
Shout out to Husky. Somebody put them in the comments, please.
Say that again.
So shout out to Husky. Somebody please tag them in the comments.
Yeah, I can do that. Oh, let's do that. Yeah, they definitely do what they do. They are phenomenal at the work that they do. And there, you had mentioned you are a dancer, choreographer, a teacher, a singer, a songwriter, and a creator. And that's a lot to burden on a person. But your talent speaks for itself.
Thank
But,
you.
but obviously, we're gonna get into all that. But obviously, you're originally from here, right here in Newburgh. And what was your experience like growing up for you?
Well, I grew up in Newburgh. I was not born in Newburgh.
Okay.
Not many people know that. I was actually born in Cold Spring, New York, in Buttermilk Hospital, which is no longer. And funny story about that. My dad was driving my mom to the hospital. She was in labor and they were speeding. They got pulled over by the cops and they saw what was happening. So essentially, I was escorted to the emergency room. just that little joke. Even though they say that it wasn't that far, it's still a flex for me. But growing up in Newburgh was it had its ups and downs. I'm grateful for the communities that I found, whether it was in my church or friends in the street, that really um, kept me from experiencing things that I could have experienced. For example, you know, there was a lot of bullying going on because of my who I am, and people didn't accept that. And those people really sheltered me and protected me from experiencing those things because I'm the youngest of three. I always had two older brothers to protect me. And, when people bothered me, they'll fight for me and I'll, fight for my age. But once one went to the military and the other went to jail, I was on myself. And people did, see that as an opportunity. I did get into some situations,
Mhm.
but I am grateful for the communities and spaces that I found that was able to keep me from, doing things that I shouldn't have done.
Wow. Damn, I learned a lot about you in the first question. Holy moly.
I'm an
Okay.
Uncle Bob. It may take some time to understand me because my speech, like I speak really fast naturally, and because there are a lot of thoughts that's going on in my mind at one time.
Absolutely. No, no, I don't think you speak too fast. I
Oh,
think
I'm
you're
working on
doing
it right
good.
now. I'm
So, what one thing I want to put in is I love your mother. Um, she is she is just always so happy, full of joy, full of energy.
correction with the hospital. I think I said buttermilk. I think I'm hungry. It's butterfield.
Butterfield.
Butterfield. I think I said buttermilk. So
I think you did, but I didn't. I wasn't
I think I
current
want to
with it or known
fry
of
some
it,
chicken.
so I kind of went with it.
That's funny. Thank you, Loda.
I love your mom. She's always the kindest, sweetest woman. She loves you. She's at every Mvore event, and she's always dancing. Which leads me to what was your first experience with music and dancing?
Music and dancing. Uh, just in my life in general, or
Yeah, like the first thing you can recollect that you heard that really, really was like, oh, I like this, or
okay,
really got you knowing you could go that
right.
direction. And the same thing with dancing.
So as far back as I can go, which is about 1994, 5. I was
Okay.
about 4 years old, and 4 or 5, and for some reason I was infatuated with New Edition. New Edition, they was, and the lead singer was Ralph. I just knew that it was it. It was over. That's what I wanted. And I don't remember the first time that I witnessed them, but I do remember forcing my family to play New Edition. My parents had 3 children, so it's 5 of us.
Yeah.
Perfect number. I remember back then teaching them the choreography and correcting them when they were on the wrong foot.
Oh wow.
When my cousins watch this after the playback, they'll know what I'm talking about because there's times at family functions I'm teaching them the choreography to New Edition. Right, right. So,
Wow.
that was my first experience with singing and dancing, to be honest. And um, my parents told me at a young age that I would be a dancer. They say to my brother, "You'll be a doctor, you'll be a football player," which neither of them are. And they said to me, "You'll be a dancer." And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't even know that, you know, I was showing a passion for it.
Right.
I was kind of thrown off guard because my father, he didn't use the word dancer. He told me I'd be wearing a tutu, is what he said.
Oh wow.
So I was kind of, yeah, I didn't appreciate that. But my father and my parents, they're jokesters, and I love them dearly. But yeah, that was my first experience with singing and dancing as a child.
Wow. So yeah, New Edition really brings the two together because they
Oh
do
yeah,
both. Them or if your first experience was Michael Jackson, you see the two come together, and then it's kind of like you're infatuated by both because it's like they're singing, or he's singing and he's dancing at the same time. It's like oh okay.
right.
So it's definitely a different different tune. A lot of artists don't do that anymore.
Right.
Um, well, what were some of the other things that you were into growing up besides singing and dancing?
As far as creative things or
Just
in general?
anything in general. If it was video games, if it was creative, if it was sports or whatever interest you were in
Well,
outside of those two items that growing up.
as far as my interests, I just wanted to sing and dance and do music. You
Okay.
know, I did other things. Like I'm great at sports. I'm great at football. I'm great at basketball. Uh, I did jump double dutch in my earlier years, which is fun. But I always came back to music, and I was in choir. Those are the things that really brought me joy, was being around people and expressing myself musically. But I didn't enjoy playing sports until I wanted to be in showbiz. The moment I wanted to be in showbiz, I already knew that playing sports, like, this wasn't it for me, because if I pull something, break something, yeah. And I had that mindset at a young age. Like, I knew what I wanted to do, and but I'm very active. I was good at running. I used to be a flipper. I love
Okay.
karate, not professionally, but backyard karate. you know,
The karate your parents didn't want you doing, but you was doing
right,
it.
right. But I always came back to music. When I found Destiny's Child as a little boy, headphones, walk, tape recorder. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have those. They were another
Right,
group. They sang and they danced. So they really followed the pattern that you've seen growing from New Edition, except they were girls in
right,
this case, right?
right.
So,
And we did
so
that for fun. Like, shout out to Devon Rennell and Dane McDowell and Golden Diamond and Jada Armstrong and Melissa Marshall, rest in peace. We got together and created dances and made songs. That's what we did for fun as kids. Like, we got together to do stuff
right,
like that. You know, I love
right,
it.
and that kind of stuff is what keeps you out of trouble. You know,
Absolutely.
you had something that you could focus on that wasn't in
Absolutely.
the streets, that wasn't, doing this, doing that. You knew what you wanted and what you loved, even if, like you said, you knew you wanted to be in show business, even if it wasn't fully that passion. You know, you knew what you wanted.
Right.
So
Hey, Kamani, somebody saying it's Kamani in the comments. I
in
don't
the,
have my glasses on, so it's the blur.
now, a lot of people recollect, and the first thing I hear about you is Ralph was on the dance team in NFA.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that. That's everyone's a lot. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people's first recollection or first fond or highlighted memory of you is that dance team. You was Mr. Harvey taught that class. You know, God rest his soul. My brother Naj Murph was on that team.
Yes, he was.
Because he was another dancing fool, as he would call himself. I'm trying to think of other people, but right now that's all I can think of off the top of my head. What were you the captain of this team? How was it being on the dance team? And because and we'll get into this a little later, but you are a perfectionist in everything that you do. If it isn't 100%, I know you aren't going to do it, and you aren't going to take part in it. So, what was it like being coming up in the dance team? Because you were saying when you were younger, you would tell your cousins, "Nah, this is wrong. This is right. This is right." So to come into something organized as a young adult, you know, turning into an adult, what was that like for you?
So going into NSA All Star Dance Team, shout out to Mayor Harvey. Shout out to me, Mvore, who we do enough, who was also on the dance team. When I auditioned. Funny story. Me and Eric auditioned together. We
Okay.
were planning to audition together, and he talked me up the whole way. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think I know what he was trying to do. But we talked hyped it up the whole way. We're gonna try out. We're gonna try. We're gonna try out. And we get there, and he's like, "I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it." So I I auditioned. I made the team, and immediately I started to um, connect with those that I knew on the team that were there before me, and I learned who the choreographers were. And I started to, I believe at the time it was Jeff Melvin, uh, Jade Eunice brother. He was the choreographer at the time, and we worked together, dancing background behind Jade. So we
Okay.
started to work together, creating dances together and things like that. But then he aged out. I was not the captain. I forgot who was the captain at the time, but I was not the captain. But she was totally okay with me having one of the choreographer roles. And you know, I am a perfectionist now. I was a perfectionist then, but when I look back at the videos, it still wasn't right. So it's like, even for myself, I don't want to messing up steps, messing up, But those are the memories that we cherish. Mayor Harvey, he really allowed me a space to really get to know myself as far as a choreographer, as a teacher, as a coach, because I didn't have any like experience with working with teams. I worked with like us on the block 3, 4, but now we're talking about like 18, 19, 22. We're talking transitions. I didn't know what a mix was. I didn't like none of the things.
Right.
So I learned so much there that is playing a big role and a big part in who I am and what I do today at New World Performing Arts Academy, because that's where I started. I got my training there. No, not my dance training. I've been dancing all my life, but as far as managing groups of people, yeah, I get distracted
You're
really
good.
fast. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good, bro. You just want to make sure the people in the comments are in the
Right,
conversation. You're good.
right. So that was really the space where I, got the opportunity to, express myself as a choreographer and as a dancer. And funny story. Well, it's not funny, but it's cool to me. Um, so the basketball players during halftime, it's traditional that they go downstairs to, refresh, have conversations, to, get ready for the next
Right.
half. And if they knew that I specifically, were dancing, they would come up and watch the performance. They wanted
Oh
to see
wow.
us get down, and things like that, from people that aren't in the dance realm, that people just want to see, the things that we're working on and what we're doing. It was a great feeling. I made a lot of friends in high school. I made a lot of enemies, well, some enemies, but I made a lot of friends.
Absolutely. And I think that, like people want to support. Golden says, which one of your gifts means the most to you?
Means the most. Singing. Singing means the most. I feel like it's the most effective when it comes to um, giving a person an experience that may be life changing. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like dancing does that as well, but I feel like with dance is more up for interpretation, what we want you to, or what you're registering, but with music and singing and lyrics, it's very clear on what we're trying to say. So
Absolutely.
singing means the most to me, for sure. Great question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can't go wrong with that. I was just back to originally what I was going to say before I read that question out. It is good that people want to see what you're doing, that they care, that that they're enduring, because it means that whatever you're doing, it's making a difference, right? Because that halftime talk, especially if you're losing, that halftime talk is important. Like you said, refreshing, getting water, Gatorade, whatever. Talking like, all right, guys, we didn't do X, Y, and Z in the first half, but we got to try and do X, Y, and Z in the second half and
Right.
get back on track. So it's very important. Now, I know everyone in the Mvore family means a lot to you,
Those
but
my babies.
huh?
Those my babies up there.
But there are two in particular that I want just to kind of clarify for. But first, I'd like to take a moment and talk about Mr. Woody. God rest his soul.
Mm.
I personally, there he is, always with you, always.
That is true.
Yeah, like Naj is with me. There's a thing of him right over there. I don't know. I'll try. I don't know if we can see it
Oh,
on the
I
wall.
see
See
it.
that scary head in the back. But
I love
um, you know, I had very limited interaction with him. You know, he was a funny guy. Every time I interacted with him, he was full of jokes, full of life, really good spirited guy. And I know he was your best friend. What did he mean to you? His inspiration, and how do you uphold his legacy? Because I know he's smiling down, looking at everything you're doing with a smile. And I know you wish he could be here to see it and be a part of it because he definitely would have been with the crew. What? I know that's kind of a long question.
No, it's okay. Repeat the question because I can hear him in my head. Like, don't do too much.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
Eric, I hear you.
yep. So yeah, that's kind of a long question. So I'll break it down a little bit more. What does he mean to you even now?
Well, part of how you rephrased it the first time, some of the things that I learned from him, what he's in the Aries, first off. So he's a leader. He has his own mind. You know, he is one that is about if something is being done wrong to him, he's going to speak his mind. He's going to stand up for himself. And those are things that I've learned from him specifically, because there were times where he will be watching me experience situations, and he's asking me, why are you letting them do that to you? Why are you letting them talk to you like that? You don't have to do that. Da, da, da. If it was me, if it was, he could answer.
Just he like if it was me,
you know,
this would have
uh,
how it would have went down.
and part of the many things that I've done during my grieving process, and grieving never really ends. You just learn how to continue to move on with life. Is thinking about the things that they showed you in their life, their example. And I'm a visual person, so I had to write these things down. And when I'm speaking to people that are dealing with death, I also share this to them as well because it helps me. Write the things down that they showed you, whether it's by example or the things that they told you, in conversation, and honor them by remembering those things. When I'm in the kitchen, I'm thinking about him every time.
Hmm.
It is because of him that I got my love to cook. Of course, great grandma was there and grandma was there, but my peer, and we would go on trips and he would show me different things. And those are just the basic things of the things that took to me and how I honor him in my life. Standing up for myself, being honest, being transparent, being open to conversations that may be comfortable for me, but the truth is the truth, and I'm grateful for that. What was the part B of the question?
What does he mean to you? I didn't write it
It's
down.
all
I
good.
just thought,
It's all good.
but,
It's all good.
but what does he mean to you, and what is what you're doing now? Oh, I remember it. I knew it would come back. What you're doing now, how does that help you honor his legacy?
As far as in my personal,
Oh, anything because like for example, I started this podcast partially because of Najee's passing.
right,
So for me, when he passed away, it hurt me so bad, and it made me realize that life is so short and that I had gifts that I could share to the world. I
right,
knew that I'm a talker. You've interacted with me plenty of times. I could talk to anyone about anything. So I knew that I needed to utilize that to share my gift to the world.
right.
So and that's what I mean in terms of like his passing. Kind of, did it help deter you to doing certain things
It
or help
it
you?
definitely put a fire as far as like time is way too short, time is precious, and if someone that was your peer is no longer here, you have to run. He passed in 2018,
Oof, been wow, was it? Wow, it's been that long already. Okay,
and
wow,
Mvore started in 2018.
wow.
We like we have it's now or never. We gotta go. We gotta run, and that's what we did. So I like to say that. us starting Mvore and putting the fire in us to put ourselves out there did come from him and memorializing his passion. For sure.
You know, I think it's so weird that every episode the guests be knowing when to segue because we're getting to Mvore in this interview, so it just be weird. I didn't even show the whole pad like usual. Like this is that's part. Yeah, there's a lot of layers to you, Mr. Mvore. A lot of layers.
See,
You know, So you know, God rest his soul. I wish I could have gotten to know him a little better, but all my interactions with him were always straight up. He was going to tell you how it was, and he wasn't going to sugarcoat it for you or anyone else.
right.
So now I want to talk about, and when I think Mvore, and it's no disrespect to any of the other ones in the group, but I think you, I think Golden, and I think Jazzy. That comes off the bat for me. And I want to start with Golden. Shout out to her because she's the reason why this podcast started when it did. After one of the open mics, I think it was in January, her and I were talking outside for a very long time, or maybe it was Jazzy's birthday. It was one or the other, but it was an open mic for her birthday, so I'm not sure. But we were talking, and she was just like, I was like very finicky about this. I was like, it has to be right. It's got to be perfect. And she just said to me, Mike, it ain't gonna be perfect. It ain't gonna be right. You gonna learn as you go. And in the first episode, Danielle was my guest. I made some mistakes, but as I went, I started to correct them. Like even simply as advertising, I just took a picture. Didn't ask her what picture she wanted to use. She didn't care, but it was a learning curve.
Right.
But tell me a little bit about how you and Golden became friends, and what does she mean to you and mean to the Mvore family?
Golden, you're gonna have to help me in the comments on this.
She's right there.
I feel like me and Golden's relationship. I feel like I've known her my entire life. I feel like as far as I can go back, like Golden and her sisters were there.
Yeah.
And we're related to a lot of the same family as well.
Okay.
So I felt like we were always in, whether it was church space, because I attended Church of God by Faith from Vacation Bible School, and then when my brother was dating a girl there, I would visit the church, etc. Living in Lake Street, they live at the block. I'm knocking on their door every day to play double dutch. I know they hate me for it. I needed some partners.
She was there.
Oh yeah. And then singing in a gospel group, Watchman and Chosen. Fast forward to Peculiar Praise. She was also in that group as well. So me and Golden has always been circulating in the same spaces, in the same circles for sure.
She wrote Lake Street. Yep, like.
And Golden, this is how I see Golden. She is, how can I word this? When I'm looking for a logical answer, right, right. You know it, so you know what I'm trying to, when I look for a logical answer, I know my girl's going to keep it real, she's going to keep it honest, she's going to be supportive, but she's also going to give you the full scope of how she perceives the situation. These are the good, these are the bad, and I value people like that in my life. I value people that have sight and are not afraid to share it, even to a person that work as closely to her, like me. So, and she does so much in Mvore that I can just list, planning, shirt making, ticket printing, flyer, all those things.
Yep, all those things.
She does it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very intricate in the running of it, and keeping those key elements together.
Oh yeah.
Because the week I was shooting the pictures, you were very hard to kind of get tabs on. So I seen you when I got there. You kind of said what you needed me to do, and then you were off. So if I couldn't find you, like, hey, what would Ralph want, or what should I do, kind of thing. So she's definitely very intricate and really helping in the forefront and behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
She does what she does, and there's only one Golden,
There's only one golden.
or one Nisi, or one whatever. She got so many
I'll say,
aliases.
don't do it. They'll block you. Don't call her out like that.
So now I gotta throw her out there. That's my girl. I can't do that. I can't do that. So the other one is Miss Jazzy.
Twin.
Your
Understand.
twin. It's funny, and I think I hope she's still in here. Yeah, she's still in here. And not too long ago, I messaged her about coming on here and having a conversation. And you know what she told me? She said, "I don't know, bro, if I can talk on a camera." I said, "Well, Ralph said he would come on," and I was like, "Y'all definitely twins because he's kind of evading me a little bit, but." I know you're a busy man. It was all love, all jokes. But now that you're here, that means now she got to come here. And I know she's watching. So,
Yes,
but I know like y'all have a beautiful relationship. Um, Twins, brother, sister. Like, what? I don't even really know. I mean, I guess I'm just going to leave it open ended. Because there's really no way to explain it or way I can word it. What does she mean to you, and the forefront for Mvore as well?
Well, she is the co-founder of
Okay,
Mvore.
okay.
Start with that. I'm glad you asked this question. I'm glad you said twin brother sister because for years people have been trying to marry us together,
Mary,
and of course she's with my girl Danny. Bro, they try to put us together for years. Like
what? Your face? Oh, come on,
I
Isaac. You just like
don't get
for
it.
real.
I don't get it. Like,
What? What's going on? What's going on, Raya?
Raya, hey Raya, siblings for sure. And it's like so, and like similar to me and Golden, where in being in the same spaces. Me and Jazzy went to elementary school,
Yeah.
and we were not close then, but we went to the same elementary school, Velke High Tech Magnet School. Get into it.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but it wasn't until that we got into our preteens and our teenage years, singing in church. Best way to meet people. Musical people like yourself. Um, Singing in gospel groups, but we did choir first.
Okay.
I'm being reminded. We did Restoration, which is going on. They're having their 30th reunion this October, and we're going to be a part of that. They put
Oh,
out an album
beautiful.
in the 90s. Bishop Jeffrey C. would be here from Newburgh, New York. And, my mother sang in that choir. Me and Jazzy sang in the previous recording back in like '08, '09.
Okay.
So it's nice to be having this reunion now, and we're definitely going to do it. But then also singing in the same group as Golden, Walter Murray and Chosen, to the School of Your Praise. We really got close, connected, building our bond. And then we became neighbors.
Oh, oh. Then all bets were off.
Right. So I was like, oh, so you could just literally walk right here and I'm here. We can record, we can talk, we can do whatever. And, we were sitting nice talking, recording, just really building it. And those are the moments where we realize we think exactly the same. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yep.
this is more than
She
just a
said
friendship.
that's when it clicked.
Right. Seriously. And like, so, I want to say like 4 years ago or so, October, we're in Florida, me, Golden, and Jazzy for my birthday.
Okay.
My birthday. And me and Jazzy was, just talking and just chilling, and looked up something called twin flame. What is your twin flame? And as we're reading the things and the connections between the twin flame, we're like, we already knew this. We didn't even need this to prove anything because we already are walking in our twinship, and this is explaining exactly how we already express each other. So that was really, it's been a beautiful journey with my sister.
Twinship. I like that. I like that. That's you always gonna put your finesse. She goes, we just needed a name for it.
She might she might cut me out for this, but we're so connected. I can wake up and like something's going on in my life, and I'll stop and I'm like, my twin is about to be on her monthly. I'll text her and I'm like, girl, twin, it's it's on the way. She can confirm. She can confirm in the comments.
Yeah, yeah, she did too. Oh, the mad angry faces after.
I love it. Says
Oh
you know.
man, oh man, that's hysterical.
But vice
That's
versa,
hysterical.
something's going on. She feels me as well. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely it's real.
So she definitely, you guys are so connected. You just know when the other one's off. You just know, like real, like out of the womb twins.
Right,
You just know.
right, right.
Like,
And our families, they've adopted us as such, for sure.
wow,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
that's deep. That's deep. So right now, I'm gonna take a little intermission before we get deep into the root of Mvore. And anyone who's been on here or who has watched knows that I play a game called Honest Picks, and I'm going to give you all R&B. Um, there's three categories. There's solo artists, male groups, female groups. I'm going to just go back and forth, and you just tell me which one.
Which one?
Yours, yeah, out of two, and you have gotten the honor of having the most. I have about 30 of them.
Ooh, all right, let's do it. I hope I know
Any
this.
any preference which one you'd like to start in?
No.
Okay, we gonna give it to the ladies first. In Vogue or Escape?
In Vogue, that's easy.
702 or Black?
Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I want to confirm that a song that I'm feeling is. I tend to mix the two. All right,
Dev
so
says in Vogue.
the who's who sing that song? Uh, it ain't me. It ain't
Oh
me.
Jesus,
It ain't me.
I know the song. I just can't think.
702. Let's go. Period.
702.
That was trash. Anyway, I ain't want my whatever.
SWV or TLC?
So what are the qualifications? Like better vocals or
It's
better just
it's 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 just your preference of who you prefer. There's no standard to it. Whichever
all right,
one
so if I was going to
you
bump first, it'll be SWV. I'll bump SWV first.
okay. SWV.
Yeah.
This one I kind of know, but I tried it.
Beyonce.
Dest- Destiny's Child. He said Beyonce. Destiny's Child or Zayn?
Zayn. What
Yeah,
the hell is Zayn? Zayn.
I might be pronouncing it wrong. I might be pronouncing it
How you
wrong.
spell that?
Zhane. I'm trying to think of my computer alive. Trying to think
I
of a
don't even
song.
know these women. No.
So I'm gonna say that Destiny's Child is gonna be the winner by
Zayn, if you
default.
ever see this, please know that after this interview, I will put some respect in your name. I'll listen to some songs and I will share what I like in my story.
Okay, okay, we can
I'm
go
not
with
gonna
that.
shit nobody. Oh, excuse me.
Jazzy says, "Hey,
Oh, hey,
Mr.
Mr. DJ.
DJ."
Oh, but Destiny's Child? No. But that's my song. That is my song. Oh, wow.
Oh man,
You know this song.
Mary or Flowetry?
Mary, Mary. Go get it. Go get your blessing. It's the God in me. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mary,
Total,
Mary, for sure.
total, or changing faces?
Next.
Huh?
Next. I can't answer this. I don't know.
Next.
I don't.
So,
I'm not fully experienced on these people. On the music. I'm sure I've heard it, but I can't pinpoint right now.
okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the men group category.
Men group categories.
The Gap Band or the Spinners?
The Gap Band.
Tony, or mint condition?
Mint condition.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, or the Temptations?
Were they at the same time, or did Earth, Wind, and Fire come first?
I,
I'm going to go Earth, Wind, and Fire,
I think
but
I want to say for some reason the Temptations were first, um, but they might
I'm
have
going to go Earth, Wind, and Fire.
crossed into the same time zone.
I feel like they both have some hits, but Earth, Wind, and Fire has, yeah, I think they have more hits for
Earth,
me.
Wind, and Fire. Drew Hill or Blackstreet?
Drew Hill.
H Town or Silk?
If I can be honest, like with these groups, I only can like battle one song for
Yeah,
song. Like that's all I got. Not can never.
Oh shoot, my headphones just died. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. How do I sound? I'm good.
I can still hear you.
All right. So I'm gonna like. I'm gonna have to go with H Town,
Okay,
and I'll tell you
go
why.
for it.
I can't believe I'm saying this because all my life I feel like I was jamming to meeting in my bedroom, and I feel like that last note almost won the case. But for me, it's like those brothers was singing, okay,
Yeah,
and like that whole talking part with deep voice, and then with the high note, like that was a formula that I can really rock with right there, for sure.
absolutely. I can't get mad at that answer. Can't get mad. OJ's or the Isleys?
I think I'm gonna say the Isleys.
Okay. High Five or Shy?
High Five because I'm biased
Oh,
because I believe the replacement lead singer Terrell from Jersey is a friend of mine.
okay.
So I'm biased to that group.
There's no problems with that. It's okay. We all got biases. Guy or Next?
One more time.
Guy or Next?
Guy? I don't know Guy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go
Oh,
with next.
all right. I got Drew Hill in here twice, but we're gonna go with it.
Are y'all gonna take
But
my
I think
R&B card away from me? Like, is this bad right now? Am I doing bad?
no, no. Sometimes even me, I know the groups, but sometimes and I know their input on music, but you just sometimes can't think of that song offhand.
So everyone is saying Guy, so that's one I have to get into. Thank y'all.
I got him in here twice, but I think I already know where you're gonna go. Drew Hill or New Edition? You're not even gonna honor that with an answer, so I should have probably just skipped that one.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry,
Boys to
Joe. Sunny days. Everybody
Boys to
here.
Men, Boys to Men, or
Oh
Jodeci?
shit. That thing was getting to my back.
You good?
Boys to Men or Jodeci? Let's see. Uh, Boys, I gotta go with Boys to Men. I'm sorry. Some
Okay.
about them harmonies and them doo-wop bops for me. That's good.
112 or Jagged Edge?
112 or Jagged Edge? 112 saying Peaches and Cream, and you
Yes.
already know, right? I'm going
Yes.
112.
All right. Now for the single, the solo artist category.
Solo artist. Let's get it.
Brandy or Monica?
Sorry, I didn't mean to chuckle. Brandy.
Tony Braxton or Alicia Keys?
Tony Braxton or Alicia Keys? Tony Braxton.
Shaka Khan or Sade?
They're two completely different styles of singers. Hits, beautiful voices, definitely has a catalog. But if I had to pick in this moment,
Mm-hmm.
when I think about my favorite songs from each, it's Shaka Khan. Ain't Nobody.
Oh yeah, she's a
But
powerhouse.
Sade is that girl though. Like Sade is that
Yeah,
girl.
absolutely, absolutely. Mary J. Blige or Janet Jackson?
You make this hard because it's like, am I judging them by vocals? Am I judging them by brands?
Just whatever your preference is, one versus the other. There's no whatever. No rules.
Naturally, Janet.
Yeah,
That's naturally Janet, but I love some Mary J. Mary J. She's full of soul and passion, and we definitely need that in music. So I'm grateful for the things that she contributed, but Janet was that girl. Is that girl? She's still living. Hello.
absolutely. So I know this one's gonna be biased too, but I'm gonna read it.
Beyonce.
Aaliyah or Beyonce?
Why would you put them together? Because
Because
my sister is an Aaliyah stan.
I had to do it because I had to put someone comparable to make you reasonably doubt, or at least reasonably doubt it, even though I felt you were going to go with Beyonce anyway. Why, Jazzy said, why would you do this?
I'm going to give them both my point.
Okay.
Specifically because of Aaliyah's life being cut short, and Beyonce having the years and the opportunity to release XYZ. You know, if I had to go with Aaliyah up to when she died, compared to Beyonce, which probably was like Survivor,
Okay.
that still would be kind of hard for me.
He said it was really hard.
I tried.
You just listen. You like who you like. You know, like there's no ill will. There's nothing around it. But I knew that one was gonna mess people up, even in the comments. Jazzy said you did.
That was good. That was real good.
Teddy Pendergrass or Bill Withers?
Bill Withers.
Otis Redding or Curtis Mayfield?
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. I don't have an answer for this one.
Okay. Lionel Richie or Smokey Robinson?
Smokey.
Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder?
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see what I know about Ray Charles compared to Stevie Wonder. I feel like Stevie Wonder played more than one instrument. I feel like Ray Charles played the piano and only the harmonica. I feel like Stevie played both, but I feel like Stevie played more than the two.
Yeah, okay.
So because I'm a person that appreciates from the ground up, Stevie Wonder. I feel like Stevie played a lot of instruments. And now that I think about it, I think he
play flute too?
I feel like me hearing something about him playing, like, never mind. I think that was Prince. How many instruments? Can somebody look it up? I want to know. Now I'm curious.
Al Green or Sam Cooke?
Al Green. No. It's been a long time. Who was that?
That's Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke.
R. Kelly or Usher?
Usher.
Okay. Last two. Whitney Houston or Aretha Franklin? Everyone hates that one. Come on, man, Jazzy said.
All right, so like when we talk about Aretha and Whitney, it's like Aretha, she was that girl. Whitney was that girl too. They both came up in the church. The things that I've heard both of them do, like, just still takes me into the spirit realm. Specifically, this video with Aretha Franklin doing this this opera number, singing a whole different language, and just the way she flowed through notes, you know, was a beautiful experience for me. You know, she definitely added so much to the culture with respect and just, you know, so much that she's done. But for me, Whitney Houston wins that. I feel like Whitney's voice has more clarity. I feel like um, Whitney's diction is top level, and I'm really big on diction because, for one, having speech issues, no one understands me. So when I'm singing, it's very important for me to pronounce my words so you can understand me. And with Whitney Houston, if there's a T or or you know, whatever it is, if you're gonna hear it, you didn't hear mine, but you're gonna hear it.
You're not messing with
No.
her.
Yeah, and plus, my mother was a big Whitney Houston fan. Like, the greatest of all hairstyle, my mother had that all the time growing up. Like, she blasted with me all the time. You know, so that was definitely one that was in my house regularly. But yeah, so yeah, Whitney gets that. But I love Aretha, and I'll be posting that opera video sometime tonight too.
Okay. And last but not least, everyone's favorite one.
Okay.
That makes them want to hate me. Michael Jackson or Prince? Dev says Prince. Jazzy says both for different reasons.
Right. Like, I'm like, for Michael, his music, his dancing abilities, his performance, his energy, everything that he was, beautiful. Prince, being also a musician, I also resonate with a lot of the things that he's shared in interviews, and things that he shared was very educational for me when it comes to the business and owning my own master, standing up for myself, etc., etc. So musically, I love them both. Individually, I can't decide, but yeah, they are those people.
Okay.
I want to decide. I want to pick one. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to decide.
Whatever you want to do, bro. This is your episode.
It's the last one. I can't pass on the last one.
I always save that one for last. Everyone hates it.
All right. So I'm going to have to go with Michael.
Okay.
I feel like his star quality, his star power that people experience just by him standing on stage still is a level of acknowledgement as an artist. I feel like we're all striving towards. You know, we want to be those people where you're a household name. People can see you and they know who you are just by your face. You know, my beard has more of a reputation than I do at the moment. But but yeah, so I'm gonna go with Michael with that one.
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that game. Everyone seems to enjoy it.
That was fun. I enjoyed
that. You know, it's a way to kind of just have a little fun. I like, you know, and things of that nature. So we're gonna get back to it. You answered that. Okay. So you said that Eric died in 2018 and Mvore started in 2018. What other things inspired you to start Mvore? Because I would like to think, I won't say obviously, but I would like to think that you doing Mvore was in the making before his passing. His passing just said, we're doing it. Like, that's it. I got to do it. But what were other inspirations towards Mvore?
So, in case I lose my train of thought, 3 things, and I'll go into them, but I don't want to forget, you know,
okay,
where I'm at. I forgot already. All right.
You good, bro? You good?
So for one, Mvore was created. It wasn't prior, or it wasn't planned, or anything of the sort. On the spot, RuPaul, ballroom culture. Those are the 3 things I want to talk about.
Okay.
All right. So, at the time, Ralph Williams, under RW Music Inc., performing with a live band, performing with singers, dancers, we're getting it popping, we're doing our thing. People are coming to see my name, but truth is, people are coming to see us. People are coming to see us and how we interact on stage together, how we do our thing, you know, in addition to seeing me do my thing. And I felt like, for one, this wasn't something that I could share with them, because they were like background singers for me, and it's RW Music Inc., which is my initials. And when they call me, they call Ralph Williams, and you know, this wasn't what I wanted anymore.
Okay.
Rewind. Next moment. RuPaul, in the interview, he said, if there was anything I could change, well, of course, my name is out there now, but if there's anything I could change, it is not going into showbiz with my birth name.
Okay.
He said, if I can change anything, it'll be my name. Of course, because I've been singing all my life and trying to put myself out there, everyone knew my name, my last name.
Right.
Some people do not. If they're watching this now, they know. But so that was part of changing as well, because he said, if I was ever called out in the clinic or at somewhere where they call my legal name, and I don't want people to know where I am,
Right.
it's more of your privacy. Plus, people can research you. Like, I made a post a couple of weeks ago talking about, you know, we live in a scary world. Our names are out there. We know each other's birthdays. We know each other's ages. And with that Google search, you can find out so much stuff about somebody. So that was also part of, well, I'm Ralph Mvore. And different ones started to adopt the name as well, to, you know, just to show the family aspect of Mvore. Even though it was not a requirement for anyone, it is not a requirement for anyone. There are Mvores that do not have the Mvore last name, which is fine because everyone knows they're Mvore, you know?
Right.
So when it comes to ballroom culture, New York City ballroom culture, that's where it originated. Houses were created because LGBTQ people in their youth, kids, teens, were thrown out of their house or they ran away. But most likely they were thrown out of their homes and were homeless. These houses were created to bring them in, and they taught them how to use their talents to make a way of living through competitions. And, you know, a way of survival. You know, they have shelter, they have food, they had family, they had guidance, they had parents, house mother, house father, and children, et cetera, which always fascinated me, even as a teen, traveling back and forth to New York City, which I was way too young to do. Thank God that iPhones were not there with tracking devices, because, yeah, I'll be caught out there. I was caught out there one time. We didn't come back home in enough time, thanks to Eric. I'm not going to talk about it. But
You're good.
But house culture, yes. So family is ballroom culture, and whatever you want to do, you can do. You have the support. We're here to help train you. We're here to help. We're here to help you find the resources, et cetera, et cetera. And you know, that is part of the model that we had in Mvore. So did
Absolutely.
I tap all three? Yes.
Yes. So for those who don't know, I have it written on the side here because I've been listening. I just memorized it like a month ago. But for anyone who doesn't know, who's watching this or who will watch this back, please tell them what Mvore stands for.
Mvore stands for motivated, versatile, original, real, and extraordinary. Mvore. Mvore. Ma like mother, vor like core. Mvore. Not
Don't call it.
Mvore,
Yep.
not Bamore, not McCore, not Magor. Mvore. Doesn't that sound way prettier than McCore, Mvore, Mvore, and like?
Mvore is wild. Like I remember when at the first artist spotlight, BBC was up there with Jag, and she said, "I want to thank Mvore," and you're like, edit that out." Yeah, the whole room shifted. The whole energy changed when she said that. I was like, "Oh no."
And in that moment, because of course people mean
Yeah,
well. I know people mean well. I do. And maybe in a situation like that, I take the blame for that, because I was the lead of that ship. I am the lead of that ship. So it was my responsibility to say, this is the pronunciation. You
Yeah.
know, I just assume that people know because I introduced myself as Ralph Mvore. I'm Ralph Mvore.
Right.
I don't not Ralph Mvore. So that was a learning experience for myself and clearly them, and we're grateful for it.
And that's absolutely, absolutely. Manny said someone said Mvore before, and then she wrote Mvore will give you more.
People are so creative with how they pronounce Mvore. It's very interesting. And yes,
So,
Mvore will give you more. That is a slogan and a catchphrase that we like to use to let everyone know that Mvore was always coming with something new. We're always coming with something fresh, and no one in Mvore is only one thing. We're everyone is here. Everyone here is multi-gifted, multi-talented, and yes.
absolutely. So, how did you come up on those 5 words for the meaning of Mvore?
Oh, I realized. Thank you for that. I realized I never finished.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Oh, so
So
you were going. See,
right,
once again, you was planning to go that
right.
way. You see, you knew.
Thank you. So
No problem. Thank
October
you.
2nd, 2018. Because all right. So because it was RW Music Inc. and etc. We was having rehearsal at my grandmother's house on the porch. It was nice. There was no need to go to the venue. We outside. You know,
Chilling.
it's cool. You know, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling this no more, guys. We need something new. We talking about so the rehearsal turned into a business meeting in that moment.
Okay.
We need something new. We need something fresh, and it's like I don't know what it is, but we need something. So we're like, okay, looking up words, trying to see what different words mean, and it's like, and this wasn't in um acronym form. It was just what word can we use? Like we
Right.
need something name. We need something, something cool. And then we was like, maybe we can't find the word because it doesn't exist. What we're trying to birth is something that does not yet exist, and we need to name it.
Okay.
So we're like, well, how about we get some values that describe us and make a word off that?
Okay.
So we got the name Mvore. It was like, ooh, Mvore, Mvore, Mvore. It feels good in my mouth. Mvore, Mvore. Okay. We got the word. How do we spell it? And we're reading it. It's like Mavour. It's like nah, and going through different paths of okay, how are we going to spell this? Like it doesn't exist,
Right.
so I'm like, well, shoot. We see artists that have letters in their name and it's just not pronounced that. What's
Yeah.
SZA's name? How you spell it, SZA?
SZA.
SZA. Now how they say SZA?
Yeah,
So,
that's not at all.
so, how about we take ownership in how we choose to define and describe ourselves? And that's what we did. One thought, one decision, one thought, no preparing beforehand. And I said, you know what? Then that's it. I'm Ralph Mvore. And that's how that came about.
Wow. Okay, and it just a rehearsal that turned into a business meeting.
Oh yeah.
So
Shout out to Devin Mvore, Golden Diamond, Mila.
shout out to everyone who's had their hand in this. So when it started, who were what were how can I put this? Who were the core members? Because it's grown over time. You're right. It's grown over time. So who were the core moments? And I don't want to say what were the requirements to join. I don't know, better word to utilize or more. What is it that you look for when people join or people who would want to join Mvore?
I look for a good heart and a good vibe. That is it. That's it. There's people that are talent. There are people that are not talent, but they're in Mvore. We're a family. So it's like there's no requirements besides being intentional with your words, you know, following through with what you say you're going to do, and try something new. You know, and there are people that are doing things that they never saw themselves doing, or people never encouraged them to do. And this space is one of the spaces that is like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. We'll find the resources, we'll create the plan, and we'll do it together. We'll support, we'll push it however we need to, and that'll be that. But I don't look for anything specific or in particular. I'm rocking with somebody, I'm talking to somebody, and you know, I naturally talk about Mvore if someone don't know, and people say, you know, how do I be a part? And I'm like, well, do you want to be a part? Here's a form you can fill out, which is just something simple like, what do you do? You know, who you are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's no requirements as far as what I'm looking for in someone.
Right.
Now, as any other membership or group or organization, how do I know what it is? No, I just put a blank. There are dues in Mvore, along with everywhere else. So that is a requirement. But as far as what we're looking for in you, we want you to just be who you are. Be kind. We got it's a safe space. Don't come in here causing ruckus, because not only are we talented, we're also spiritual as well. So we can see things before they come. Like so, and yeah.
Okay. I'm not mad at that at all. Because you know it is what you're doing is very, very phenomenal. A lot of times I'll be having conversation about things with people, and I bring you up just because because people say that there aren't people that do things for the community or for the area, and that's not true. You're the first person that comes to mind because Mavor cares is something that's beautiful, especially. Not saying that everything else isn't, but that specific thing right there, it takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of management, and a lot of people to put in for something like that, to give someone a meal, that may not be able to afford a meal, even if it is once a month or however, right? You usually do it once or twice a month, it's a beautiful thing. So, that's something that I always have been respectful of, that particular thing right there. Like everything, of course, but that right there is what you do for the community is beautiful. And I don't allow anyone to say no one does anything for this doesn't do anything for the community without saying your name, because
Thank
you
you.
definitely, you and the whole Mavor crew definitely do. So you have done a lot of events and a lot of performances. Jazzy says free fresh veggies on
Yes.
Wednesday.
Shout out to our core, which is responsible for our connection with the free organic vegetables that are locally grown on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. You can come down to Five Corners, Renwick, and William Street is where the free vegetables are being distributed. Um, we tend to have a disconnect with the black community that think that this is for the homeless. We do have some black, people that are there, but not the way we have the other, other spaces that are there that, we're here too. But they tend to think that it's not for the home, that it is for the homeless. But when you really think about it, we're having things like collard greens and things that need a kitchen to be cooked in. So this is not for the homeless. We have the hot meals for the homeless, but for our community members that are looking to eat healthy, eat better, and save money, because who doesn't want to save money but still want to have groceries? It's definitely something that people should take advantage of, especially before harvest ends, because we're about to go into September.
Right. So all those veggies, they're gonna be gone to March or April of next year.
This week I made a chicken stew with
Oh,
onions, potatoes, carrots, celery, all from the free vegetables.
wow.
Word.
Huh?
And being a single man, I don't have children. I don't have a spouse. I have to cook for myself or
Yeah.
go to the store. But I'm trying to get back into cooking more and not spending so much money. we spend so much money at these restaurants, and I'm trying to get back into things that I love, things that I enjoy. So I made
Absolutely.
some chicken stew with those things, and that was really good. I was honored to be able to use the resources of the free vegetables and wanting people in Newburgh to eat greener in my household. So
Beautiful. Yeah, I haven't seen a Crown Fried status in a little while.
well, I try my best not to make posts that are negative, but I had a bad experience, and I'm good.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So can't get wrong with that either. So you've done a lot of performances. You've done a lot of events.
Not enough.
I and you're only just getting warm now. Typically, I go through and kind of spot out ones that really catch my eye, but there were so many. So if you could name 5 of your favorite performances and 5 of your favorite events that you've done,
Okay.
and if 5 is too many and you want to do 3, whatever. But if I just wanted to see if you what that list would consist
5
of.
of my favorite performances, 5 of my favorite events that I've done.
Yeah.
All right. So my first 2, which is one on both sides of the spectrum,
Okay.
because I created the event as well as performed at the event.
Okay.
And this was the Orange County Arts Council's gala that was, I want to say, 2021 and 2022. Yes, I want to say that's right. Correct me in the comments, please. First one was Night Song. The second one was Ignite. And myself and my partner at the time. I'm sorry?
That's what Dev has in the comments. Ignite.
Yes. Myself and my partner for the event at the time, we planned both years together. And he was responsible for the art portion. I was responsible for the music portion. So I created 3-act performances both years. He created costumes for the first year. When we did all the art, brought the artists in. I didn't do any art. I did the logistics of the art, as well as the projector screen, which we danced in front of. But those 2 events were probably my top 2 over the last couple of years of events that I created and events that I performed at, especially the scale that it was on. This is the Orange County Arts Council, the Orange County Arts Council, covering Orange County. And here I am, Ralph Mvore, putting on for Newburgh, putting on for the Mvores. And in Mvore fashion, I find opportunities, I create opportunities, I bring my people with me.
Absolutely.
You can't bring everyone to everything, so because you want to try to mix it up sometimes. But going back to something that you said about the front faces or the people, when you think about Mvore, you think about these people, which were myself, Jazzy, Golden, Devin, who you may not know personally because he doesn't live in Newburgh. He's also one of those people as well.
Okay.
But I like to view us as the X-Men of the arts.
Okay.
The front runners, the forefront people, but you also know that there is a group and a community of people behind them that you may not know as far as connecting them to us, but you'll get to know them, and et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah.
Okay, that's real. That's beautiful. Yeah, I've had some interactions with Dev. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Very, I remember at the kickball game or the dodgeball game, there was a part where we were upstairs, and he was saying that I was talking to Danielle, and he had taken the mic and said, "You can't hold the ball. You got to throw it." And he meant it. Like, he meant it with everything in him. And he had, like, the angriest look, and Danielle was like, "Oh, okay. Who made him the boss?" Like, he said that with his chest.
Well, and Mvore, he is one of our sergeants. Okay?
Holds it down.
Devin's Stern. I see you in the comments. Devin's Okay, we've been calling Devin Stern for years. That's Stern because Devin is Stern.
Oh
But
man.
old school family from the South, you know, they didn't play with that teacher,
Uh-huh.
and you know, in that aspect, he was in a position to let people know what they have to do. He was a referee
Right.
at a game that a player was in.
Yeah.
So, but you know, Uncle Devin,
What's
he means
up,
business,
DG?
but
Absolutely.
he's loving as well. So yeah, um, back to events that I enjoy doing. So one of the performances specifically was Summer of Soul in New York City. We performed there. Poet Gold, Say Their Names was the name of the song that we recorded in response to the assassination on live television of George Floyd.
Mm.
In response to that, she she wrote a song, sent it to us, we recorded it, then we're performing it. But my favorite one was in Harlem, New York City, at the Summer of Soul. It was packed out. It felt good to be out there repping Newburgh, repping Mvore, doing
Absolutely.
something on that level. You know, it's like I'm super grateful for the opportunity that came through Poet Gold because she could have called anybody else, but she chose to call us because she saw something in us and what
Mm-hmm.
we do and believed that we would help get the message out, and we did. So I'm grateful for that. Please go to YouTube, check out Say Their Names, Poet Gold. We out there.
All right, I'm gonna write that down. Okay.
Of course, I love the Poetry After Dark events. That's the Poetry After Dark events is like my guilty pleasure because I get to I get to I always add a segment that is like a game of some sort or a theme of some sort. So being that I love creating and organizing, that's one of the things that I can let loose in, especially because it's after dark, ain't no kids there.
Mm-hmm.
How do I turn these comments off? Because I cannot see myself. There I go.
Even.
So so yeah. I I do want to bring back the kickball. I'm sad that we didn't get to do it this summer because it was such a success last year.
The dodgeball.
The dodgeball, yeah,
Okay,
dodgeball.
no, because I did do a kickball game, but that was with DG. So I was just making
Yes,
sure
dodgeball.
I didn't miss
Thank you
any.
for that.
I just want to
No,
make sure
no,
I didn't miss something.
no. The dodgeball game. I'm upset we didn't get to bring it back because I had a lot of fun doing that. Shout out to Carmen, Deshaun Mvore, and Golden Diamond who were responsible for the shirts and etc. We got a lot of support of that, and it was very dope. We had like different venues uh, adding on to the experience. So not only did we have the event itself, we had an after party. We had a meet and greet the day before. Like we really came together and did something that was great. That didn't involve music or performance, but yeah.
But y'all had that halftime
Yes,
show too,
can't forget the
and then
halftime show.
shout
That was
out to
fun.
Team Yellow. We did win. Just saying, we did win. Team Remedy. She even got out of her gear to perform. You
Yes,
know,
yes, she did.
so they definitely do the thing. You definitely have a way of doing that and creating networking experiences. I mean,
Thank you.
two of my recent guests were just on this show based off going to Ladies Vibes during Mvore week. Um, Miss Lacey Ashley came on, and then Miss Raya Henry came on the week after, back to back. I'm always grateful to be put into those situations because it seems like there's always a way for me to get something, enjoy an event, and also put someone else
Right,
out there because I'm all about giving back.
right,
This is what this show's about. It's also about giving back to whomever. People ask me to come on here and have a conversation. You want to come on here and talk
right.
to me? Cool, we can talk. So I appreciate that. But I want to go because now these events have done so well for you. You've done so much that you have turned this into a whole week of just awesome stuff. I don't want to say stuff. Awesome events and activities. So I have to know where, where did this idea for a whole week of this come from, and what is the process like? Because it's got to be there's a lot of pieces, a lot of work, securing venues, getting this, getting that, getting performers. There's a lot of pieces to this. So what's the process like? The idea for that and the process.
Can you give me 1 second? I need some water.
Yes, yes. Give Mr. Mvore a second. I want to thank everyone in the viewing section. You know, hope you all have
So,
a good weekend and enjoying the show. Go ahead.
Mvore came about. Um, I was preparing for the business meeting, not last year, year before. Preparing the business meeting for the following year. So thinking about the things that like we have our Mvore anniversary, we have different things we do around the holidays, but not necessarily something annual for the summer. Like what are we doing? How can we make an impact? How can we take advantage of school being out of season? How can we take advantage of work shifting and et cetera, et cetera? And we were already doing so much separately. We had urban updates going live. We had ladies' vibes going live. We're doing concerts over here. We're doing shows over here. And, I always like to think of it as like all the planets coming and lining up in order.
Okay.
Okay. So that was my thought with Mvore Week.
Okay.
If I can take all of these aspects that we're doing and put them together for a singular an experience, then why not? Especially, what was important to me was having something in response to, because we didn't even know at the time that Illuminated would be canceled. We learned in real time, and we were excited and honored to be adding like underground, not a version of, but an underground different experience then. But people get to experience so much different things during the summer that didn't, clash, because we made it important not to clash with what they were doing, and et cetera, et cetera. And we also make it important not to clash with what other people are doing in town. A lot of artists need to take it a little more serious. Not artists, excuse me. A lot of event planners and business owners need to be a little more intentional with the calendar. Take a moment and go online. Type the date in. Of course, you don't have to, secure your date through no one or filter through no one. Of course not. But we want to make sure that we're not stepping on toes on the people that we love. There are enough people in town to do multiple events, but why put yourself or put us in battle? Unless they want the smoke, but that's a different situation. That's a different situation because people don't know that I am very competitive. I'm very competitive, but I like to be in cooperative, collective, communal spaces. So
Okay.
But when I do see an event that's on the same day as mine, trust me, my business hat is on because right now it's it's not personal, it's all business, and we gotta go for the hustle. And I did see, which I was kind of upset about. I was only upset about not because they did the event during our week, but because it clashed and we couldn't go and support them. Like there was things happening that I would have loved to do. I would have loved to have went, but because of the schedule and the conflicts, that's why I said, if we can be a little more intentional, and that's why I'm grateful for the group chat that we have with Danielle, where we get to send flyers and we get to see what each other is doing beforehand, so we can make sure that we're not stepping on each other's toes. I believe something like you're moving the time to a different day in the class. It was like, oh snap, maybe we can't do that, so we can have this show going on over here, and then this show over here, and they're not clashing. People don't have to pick and choose, because the world go round by us working together.
Absolutely.
There was nothing built by itself. Even if there was a front person or a face person, there's always a team. There's always a functionality of the movement. And I'm rambling, so I'm done.
You're good. Well, and it's true because I have to move the data, and I said it before you came in the room. I was just announcing that I got to move the day because I'm going back to one show a week, going back to Thursdays. But now with the sports show, I have to watch the game on Thursday to talk about it. So I got to move it from Thursday. I can't do Wednesday because that's DG and Urban Updates.
Right.
That's already spreading the baby with two. So now it'll be Tuesdays.
Right.
So you don't want to ever clash with anything. So with Mvore Week, both weeks you've done it twice now. Have been successful.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I was honored to be at the whole first one. I did make 2 appearances for this year. But what was year one like versus year two? Was it easier? Was
Oh,
it was it because you had already done it once?
right.
Was it more difficult? Was securing things different? Like what versus the years?
Yeah. So they both had its challenges. Every event will show itself to you as far as the personality of itself. So they all had their challenges, especially when we thought the planning was done, and then something else hit. Oh snap! Oh snap! Like the event will show its personality to you. But the first year was definitely harder because now we're not only are we planning an event, but we're planning 7 of them. Not only does one event or one day have an event, but there's 2 days that has 2 events, and the things that are needed for each event because they're so different from each other. The setup is different. The staffing is different. So like logistically, like it was a lot, but like I enjoy stuff like that. I enjoy big projects. I enjoy big logistics. I've been doing it for so long. It's fun to me. So, what it really is something small that's repeated over and over again. And when
Right.
you enjoy bringing people together, organizing, you know, it's not that hard. Now, when things aren't working out according to plan, you have to adjust and you have to, put your feelings aside and, do what's best for the event and, so it can be a success. But year one was definitely harder than year two because we had the skeleton, we had the formula. Even though it wasn't exactly the same, we had something to go and build off of.
Right.
Yeah, I enjoy doing Mvore Week. It is a lot. This year, yeah, it was a lot. But I enjoyed it. I tell you one thing. By the Gospel Cafe, which was the finale of the Mvore Week, part 2, I was like sleep standing. Sleepwalking, sleep singing, you know, and we were in concert. I was singing background for every artist that
oh,
night. I sung background for her. Yes, bro.
oh man, you were cooked.
Bro, I was cooked, bro. Sunday, I went to church. I played at 2 churches. I went to church. I went straight to the feeding. So it was like, okay, now I got to go to 3 locations to make sure they're good. My grandma had 1, so I got to go up there to make sure she got everything she needs.
Yeah.
I got to go to the other 2 to make sure that they're good. And so I'm doing rotations. Now I got to go to church. I'm glad somebody was like, did you eat today? And I'm like, no. She's like, here. She gave me a tray. Took that with me. Brought it to the church with me. Eating my food there. I got my clothes with me. I got to change my clothes now because now I got to get ready for rehearsal, for sound check, for all the things leading up to the event actually starting and then being up there from the beginning to the end. I was cooked, bro. So
Yeah.
I learned some lessons, like, towards like the closing. Maybe I should be in more of a leadership position than a performance position because at the end of the day, for many events, I'm the first one there, last one out.
Yeah.
And I don't wait. So I get there, I start setting up, I start doing it because I said I'm going to be here by this time. It is this time, and I'm here. I got to start moving. But yeah,
I think and by you saying that, I think you're learning that you learn as you go, right? With
absolutely.
anything else. So
We called it
you
on the spot training growing up.
yes.
On the spot training.
So you're realizing, okay, this isn't working because I think in year one with the fashion show, you didn't have to perform. You not hosted, mediated, if you said, in a sense, to your point, you did more of a leadership role. So it's definitely something that you learned. You want to be obviously perform and be a part of it, but you can't burn the candle at both ends.
Right.
Because it's just it's a lot between putting it all together and then like I said, that first year you were like, you're trying to keep everything together and then everyone's famous. Where's Ralph? I said, I think he went that way, and then he went that way.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, so it's
I be on the move, bro.
you know. Oh man, so I want to get into the Mvore album. One of the first events I went to is I think the first.
Which hopefully is out by the end of this year.
Okay, okay, so you already jumped ahead.
Oh,
That
okay.
was the next question. I went to I believe the first event of yours I can recollect going to was the Poet Expo.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was the first one I was at, and then I believe the second one was the album release party. And I can tell you now, let me tell you, that experience right there was one of the most beautiful things I've seen. The Ritz Theater was full. For anyone, I mean full. There wasn't a place to sit. There wasn't a place to sit. People were standing. And you had other performances there. You know, like I believe Jag was there. Daniel Vargas, I believe, was there. I can't remember. There was a lot. There was like 3 or 4 performers that went over
Yeah,
there.
Jag, Daniel Villegas, Sammy B was there.
Sammy B, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, and then you guys came on, and let me just say, it wasn't a performance, guys. That, and pardon my French, that was a fucking concert. That was a concert, okay?
Thank you.
That was a legitimate concert. Everyone did their thing. You're more than welcome, and you guys performed. And not just like, and then there was a part, I don't remember what song, but you and acapella, and you were singing and singing. You were, you know, ugly faces
Ah,
and everything, you know, like you gotta say what it is, bro. You know, you ugly,
if it
you
ain't ugly, you ain't
sweating.
singing, dog.
Yeah, you was like head twerking. I was like, yeah. I hear is your mom. That's my baby. Everyone sing it, Ralph. I mean, you know, it was such a great thing. And then at the end, you said we wanted the album to come out tonight, and it couldn't. And that I can't even lie. I look forward to albums every year, but I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping. I have to know from your perspective. I've asked pretty much any artist this. What kind of things get in the way that stops that? Because every artist says it's clearances or this or that. It's different for everyone. But that you can speak to has gotten in the way of releasing?
So, thank you. I really appreciate your kind words, and I know the Mvores that are watching and tuning in, I know they feel the love as well, and we really appreciate that. Also appreciate you for caring about the music, because that's very important to us as creators.
Absolutely.
So this particular project, okay, the things that I've put out in the past, most of the things I've mixed myself.
Okay.
Home studio, doing my own thing. My mastering isn't that good, but what's going to stop me from doing what I got to do? So I'm going to do what I got to do. And for this particular project, I wanted to collaborate and use some other resources. Long story short, the person who doesn't live in America, you know, started going through things in their personal lives, and they just couldn't put the time to finish mixing and mastering the album. And if I could be frank, I didn't like it. So, you know, it wasn't ready. The levels wasn't ready, you know, and being someone that I know what I want my music to sound like, and I'm very particular in how I describe what I want. I'm very detail oriented. I speak very clearly, you know, in my instructions, even with like examples, video examples, audio examples, et cetera, et cetera. And I think, you know, just language barrier, and you know, we perceive music differently from on this coast and that coast, and respectfully, you know, just wasn't doing that. But so now I'm in the position where my job is to now go back into the headphones, mix the mastering, and that takes time. So we're praying that it'll be done
Okay. And roughly how many tracks are we going to be seeing on this project?
Well, because of so this is a 10-song project, My Medicine, but because of the delay, we're working on new music. We're working on
Okay.
new music, so it's like you'll be seeing that as well as other things dropping. Jazzy Mvore dropping solo stuff, my solo stuff, Golden solo stuff, our group stuff, Ursula Seymour solo stuff, Deshaun Mvore solo stuff. So we got stuff that we're working on for sure. And
Okay.
if there's anyone in the States that is experiencing mixing and mastering, and the prices are not extensive, because we have a lot of work, we have a lot of artists. Please reach out to me. Let's work. Otherwise, I'll be doing it myself.
Yeah, I know one good friend of mine. I know you know him as well, John Eldred. He's a producer, engineer, and one day we were talking about some different stuff, and he kind of said to me, he goes, "Listen," he goes, "everything is good, but you know what the killer is? Is mixing." He goes, mixing is the killer. It takes the most time, has to be precise, has to be right. He's like, like one day I guess he got like a sample from an artist, and there was a baby crying in the background. He's like, I can't take that out.
Right.
You have to re-record it without the baby or without any noise.
Right.
So in that regard, and just I don't know personally, I don't have that high level of patience to make sure it's right,
Right.
because you got to have a high level of patience, precision,
Right.
and listening to make sure that's right, because you don't want to put something out there that's wrong,
Right.
or doesn't sound like what's right in your mind and in your heart.
Right.
So like to your point, you said it wasn't ready, and that's a good enough answer for me. You could have said that without any explanation. I'm like, okay, I'll keep patiently waiting, because I know that it's going to be even more phenomenal than what you already had at that listening concert. Yeah, I called it a concert. It was a whole concert.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And so when it comes to mixing someone else's vocals, there was a lot of challenges that come with that, especially when it comes to how someone is exporting it and sending it to you. Because ideally, it's supposed to be bounced out in the sense that once the engineer gets it, he can just put it all in the program, and it lines up itself and everything's on time. But what tends to happen is different artists that I had that would send me stuff to mix, I would have to listen to the reference and drag and drop where things went until I taught them how to properly export and send waves.
Wow.
But things like the fire, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know how many artists got that in their music without even thinking? There's a song by Missy Elliott and that little beep in the background. I'm like, and I thought it was my house, and I rewind. I'm like, oh no, it's in here.
Yeah. I think it's like a smoke alarm or something.
Yes.
Wow.
But record or right now I have the AC going. If I was recording, they'll actually send that back. There's a buzzing in the background. Things like that are really important when trying to get your music mixed by someone else.
Right. Yes.
I knew how to do that. It was just sonically, it just wasn't giving me what I knew it has to offer. So.
Wow. Well, now sometimes in order to do things, you have to do them yourself.
Right.
There was something I kind of missed earlier in the interview. We kind of got into chopping it up, but there's something that you said on that Hutsy interview, and it spoke wonders to me. It spoke it really touched my soul, seeing who you are as an individual. When you said that all the people at that time in Mvore, they weren't always chosen first for everything or selected for everything, and that you told them you would come back for them, and you did.
Absolutely.
That spoke wonders, because I a lot of people would say that people who fall into that category are weird or strange. I like to say misunderstood or unique, because to not be selected elected for everything means people might not understand you. You have a different look on things. You have a different mindset because if you were to fit into everything, then you're just like everyone else.
Right.
So when like it's kind of the equivalent of like if you weren't invited, don't ask. You weren't
Right.
part of the plan,
Right.
you know? So like being that way and having that mindset and actually going back and doing that and now building this, what has that done for everyone as a whole? And because now everyone's firing on all cylinders. Because essentially from the way it sounds, everyone was kind of like here and you knew you guys could keep going up and up till sky's the limit.
So with the I'm coming back for you, you know, for me to be able to say that means I saw something in them. And at a very young age, like I knew what I wanted to be doing. Like I knew I wanted to do music, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't know as far as like on which level of community that I would be creating a space within, or et cetera, et cetera. But I knew that music was a part of that, and I knew that I saw these things within these people that one day I was always talking about one day, even to the point where like on the opposite side of the spectrum, people that were not nice to me growing up in the form of bullying or creating memories of trauma. And I always made a mental note, one day things are going to turn around. You're going to be knocking on my door trying to get me to hell. But in that same mindset, or on that same path, the one day coming back for you guys, because I'm going to be something, and I see you, and I really see you. I see that you're counted out. I see that you're not always included, and I believe in what you have. I'm going to go prepare a place. I'm going to come back and get y'all. And
Yeah.
it's still growing. It's still building. As far as the elevation, we push that in each other. Everyone is capable of putting in the work and doing what they got to do by themselves, creating a career. But when you have people that that you're accountable to, did you do this? I didn't do it. Girl, you said you were gonna do it. I know I did. I know I did. And don't forget, you doing that is for your career, not mine. It's for yours. You're absolutely right. Ask me again tomorrow. And it's stuff like that that keeps us rising, rising, rising. And it's like I always say to them, we're just beginning, as in have longevity, because we have a long way to go, and we have many stages to be on, many people that will be experiencing our words. I was going to say ministry, but it is a ministry.
Yeah.
It is soul music. It is life-changing music, and I'm grateful to be in this position where we can share that on stage and off the stage, because our off-stage music ministry is just as impactful as being on the stage, because we interact with so many people and they're sharing what they're going through. And in the moment, we're responding to what they're sharing to, and giving them words of wisdom, words of power, words of encouragement. Most of all, words of light. You know, having these spaces and being with people that understand what we're here to do. We're here to, of course, follow our careers, follow our paths, follow our personal endeavors. But there's also a world of people that think they're incapable. They don't see themselves in the right light. When they look in the mirror, because of their skin color, they're not feeling love. They're not feeling light or positivity. And so what we're doing out here through music as the gateway is sharing a new way of thinking, sharing a new way of perceiving yourself. And we like to believe that it is the way God intended for you to see yourself. So.
Mm. Definitely a gem dropper right there for
Thank
anyone
you.
who's yeah, you're welcome. For anyone who isn't listening, so yeah. Typically I try to keep these shows under an hour and a half, but that's not happening today.
How long has it been?
About an hour and 45.
I'm 45, and my social battery did not run out yet.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of fast forward a little bit because there's still some very important things here. Oh, did I lose you? You froze up. Oh, hopefully he'll come back. All right. want to thank everyone for watching. I don't know what's going on there on his end. Oh, well, hopefully he'll return to us. Oh, hold on. Let's see if that'll bring him back in. Yep,
All right.
there
So
we go.
the sound may be a little different.
I,
I have to
I,
grab the phone.
I can still hear you. Yeah. You ain't the first one it's happened to on me.
All right.
So,
One
oh,
second.
you good. Like I was saying, I want to thank everyone for watching tonight, kicking it in here. Appreciate everyone in the audience. So, one thing, like I said, I kind of want to kind of fast forward to a couple questions here that I definitely want to make sure I get here. Everything that you do has to call for a lot of stress. Um, just in general, because you're kind of all over. You've opened up your calendar, then you've shown me, and there's always dots everywhere. How do you decompress? How do you take time for Ralph to say, okay, like, does the phone go off? Do you just put it on silent? Like, what do you do to decompress? Because you need that time to rest because you're always so
Right,
busy.
right. Well, on the daily, my phone naturally puts itself on do not disturb after 10 o'clock. From
Okay.
10 to 7, it's automatic.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is one of the daily things or the evening things that helps me with my sanity or my finding peace. Because if I see it, I'm going to respond. If I see it, I'm going to go to it. That's just how I am. But it is also important to me to find days or weeks where I'm not doing anything, even if I'm here or not here. I do love to travel, but even if I'm here, finding times where like I'm solid, I'm like my time is off. I'm
Yeah.
taking the time off. I'm doing what I got to do. Unfortunately, this year, uh, after Mvore week, I had to move a lot of stuff from the studio. I had a lot of stuff to do, so that was supposed to be my downtime. But I'm grateful that last week I was able to go away to Atlantic City with my family for my grandma's birthday.
Nice.
That was some 4 days of nothingness, relaxation, and really giving me the time and perspective for some things that I've been struggling with mentally as far as where to go, how to leave, and what to do. And it's really important that we have those still moments to really get that kind of information. Because when we're
Absolutely.
always on the go, our intuition don't have the ability to really speak to us the way the quiet time meditation does. So it's really important to me that I do put some time aside, watch some television. I love TV. I love binge watching series, horror movies. Those are things that bring me joy. So, yeah, because I am always on the go, and I do enjoy it. I enjoy going. I enjoy my work all over the place. Um, and when I have my trips planned, it gives me something to look forward to. I don't mind busting it out for 2 months because I know I'm about to fly out. And those are the kind of things that we need, you know, uh, uh, yeah. Those are the
Absolutely.
kind of things that we need in our lives, things to look forward to, just so we can, a checkpoint, that's what I wanted to say.
Yes.
Checkpoints throughout the year or throughout, in your career as you're progressing, having those checkpoints to really like taking a moment, breathing, looking around, and honoring what you've done. There was times where like I didn't stop and reflect. I was always on to the next, always on to the next, and I wasn't really taking in the importance of what I was doing and the effect that it had on other people. I'm speaking in the positive aspect. Coming to events like you were saying about the concert, your experience. I had no idea that was your experience because my experience was, trying to make sure it's right on
Right.
stage and then sharing the bad news.
Yeah.
So hearing that, definitely means a lot.
I'm glad I can, give you some substance for what maybe other people in that audience were thinking as well.
Am I speaking too fast? Because I can go,
No,
I can flow.
no, you're good. You're good. I can understand everything you're saying with no issues.
I got something in my eye. Give me one
Dude,
second.
you
Something
good.
my beautiful eyelashes.
No worries. So I want to talk about the Orange County Arts Concert Council Award, Art Award.
Yes.
That award, I seen, yes, sir. I seen you had the honor of this award. I made a video about it because I thought I needed to give you your flowers, because when you think of art, like art comes in many forms, right? This interview is a form of art, right?
Absolutely.
Poetry is a form of art. Dancing is a form of art. Singing, rapping, rock music, country music, anything you do, it's a form of art. But however, there's a difference between art and an artist. And for you to have, as you said in your Husky video, you're a dancer, choreographer, a teacher, a singer, songwriter, creator, and an event planner. That's a lot of art, and that's a lot of things to fit under the category of art. So, what did winning this award mean for you? Like, what did it mean to you? Because it was a beautiful event, a lot of people, everyone was dressed up nice, all black. So, what did it mean for you to win that award?
It was a beautiful experience to be nominated for that award and awarded with that award, because for something like that, you have to be first nominated, and then people have to vote for you to win within the board. So even to be nominated, in something like that, for that is a blessing in
Yeah.
itself. I would have never thought that the county that I live in would see the work that we do as valued enough or important enough to give me that kind of achievement and acknowledgement in front of so many people. It was packed in there. It was packed out, and I even had a lot of my kids in there as well, as I got that award and said a speech with. That's what's giving me the trauma right now, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the speech I had to I'm like, yeah, that wasn't a long speech. But it really meant a lot to me to be recognized by them,
Right. No,
especially having my mother there, having my grandmother there, and my grandfather, people that have seen, me do these shows, do these plannings, go to these events all of my life, for them to be living and to witness me getting flowers, from our county, I was completely honored.
you were able to see the payoff of it, right? Because that's you think about these things, and you like me and LT were talking about you one day, and
Love that.
not you ain't where you supposed to be, bro. I respect and love everything you do, but I feel like you should be in another stratosphere.
It's coming. It's
I'm
coming.
not saying it's not, but I just feel like for what you've already accomplished, you should already be there. Like, does
I
that kind of make sense?
appreciate that.
Maybe, but no doubt. But I think, in a sense, there's a reason you're not there. Like the mission, whatever your mission is right now, it's not complete, and God is gonna know when it's complete, and He's gonna unlock that door, and you're gonna be everywhere.
Yes.
And that's just the thing. That's just the thing. Like I had another interview with an artist slash actor. His name's Glitzy. He was on Power. He's been on The Shy. He raps. He models, and same thing. We were having this conversation, and he said, "You give yourself 1 year from now, you and I are going to have another interview, and we're going to be in higher locations than where we are now." So it's all about the consistency,
Right.
as well.
And
So
I'm a big believer in God's timing as well, because it's like I like to think as well that maybe there were some things that I had to learn and that I am learning, because I do feel in my spirit there's a big shift happening. There's a shift happening. There's an elevation happening, which I sensed like a good week ago, and I put it on my Twitter as well, which I have to start doing just to let people see my experiences, and they are confirmed by what we experience in the present. But some things are coming, some things are changing, and with the way this season is, the way how this chapter is flowing from one to the next, I do feel an abundance of wisdom and direction. So I'm praying that wisdom and direction lead us to the space that we're referring to in this moment, or in between, or however the case may be. But I know that some big things are coming this way. Oh yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have to know, with that award, was there a specific piece or form of your art that you won it for, or was it for everything in
I
totality?
think it was everything in its totality.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know if like how that worked. If like you put out a piece, or it, you know what I mean, and or you were nominated for a piece, or if it just was creatives, everything you do meshed together. Were you shocked to be nominated, or surprised maybe, and more surprised to win?
Was I shocked or surprised?
Don't sell yourself short, ever.
Yes, I was shocked.
Okay.
I was shocked.
Shocked for the nomination, or
I
shocked?
wasn't surprised.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
shocked.
Okay.
I was shocked at the fact that my name is in the conversation
Okay.
because a birdie, and I was like, um, but I was honored. I wasn't shocked that I got it, or no, you know, I wasn't. I was surprised that I was asked to get it, but I wasn't shocked
Okay.
because once I knew I was in there, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking that.
Okay.
So we taking
Okay.
that.
You knew
I
you
didn't know.
felt it.
I don't know or didn't know what the process was. I just knew that my name is in it, and Lord, you wouldn't put my name in here if it wasn't for me. Make it for me, and that's what happened. And if it wasn't, and if it didn't come to me, then that's fine too. You know, 'cause, awards are just to encourage you to keep
Yeah,
going. They're not to they're not to invalidate. They're not even there to validate. They're just there to say, we see you, keep doing your thing. But if you never get an award, that's okay too.
absolutely. I mean, you look at. I'm going to use an analogy for football as a big sports fan. Dan Marino is regarded as one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, but he never won a Super Bowl. Doesn't mean that he wasn't great or wasn't a phenomenal
Right.
player. You know? Michael Jordan stopped. You know, what's his name? Stopped plenty of teams. Charles Barkley, stopped John Stockton, stopped Karl Malone. These guys are considered some of the greatest players. They didn't win that coveted NBA championship, you know. So it doesn't mean anything. It isn't everything, you know.
Right.
It
That's
isn't
like
everything.
Angela Bassett. I believe that there was a point where like she did not have an Oscar, and it
Yeah,
was like, whoa, how does not because she's so, but not having or even having does not validate what you validate by your word. So,
she got
uh,
her groove back. She played Michael's mama back in the day. She played Biggie's mama. She done played
bro,
Black Panther's mama.
Tina
Like
Turner
Tina Turner, like who hasn't she played? Like,
and
and,
played well
yeah,
and played well.
and now she kills it on 911. I love that show.
Oh yes,
I love that show. So we're getting to the end. So I got two more questions.
two more
The
questions.
first one is what's next?
We are in August right now. The Mvore anniversary in October. Uh, first week of October. Be on the lookout for that. Should be music, etc., etc. Um, new music in the fall.
Okay.
We got some events coming up for November. Public feedings, as well as, of course, the first Sundays of the month. We'll continue new music from Ursula Seymour, from Deshaun Mvore. Uh, yeah, I believe that's the remainder of the year. Oh,
Okay.
Christmas. Be on the lookout for some Christmas jingles. Y'all know every year we like to do some caroling or, things to keep the tradition of Christmas, alive. So be on the lookout for that. But definitely be on the lookout for new music, for sure.
Okay. And I don't know if you've ever, I know you've tuned in a couple times, but I end every show with a positive ending message. Now, every interview usually has gems, but and this one didn't disappoint, as I knew it wouldn't. But it's anything that you want to say to the crowd. Or I'm sorry. Hold on before I get into that. For anyone who was watching this now, or who may watch this back, and they want to find you, what are your handles where they can find you?
Okay. So anywhere that is searchable, type in Ralph Mvore. RalphMvore. I want you to find me, so I made it easy. It is the same name everywhere.
Beautiful, perfect, and simple. So, yep, positive ending message. You say anything. It could be anything in this interview, anything about life, anything you
Uh,
want to say from you to the audience. The floor is yours.
if there was a final message that I would like to leave with the audience, it would be believe in yourself. Someone who's only around you for a fraction of your life has no idea what the hell they're talking about. You know what you want to do. You know what you've been gifted to do. Train, practice, work hard. Even if it's something that you're not necessarily good at, practice and work hard. It'll work out for you. But you have to stay consistent. You have to be in it. And you have to believe in yourself. If they don't see it for you, people that are in your ear, then it's okay. Their words don't matter. What matter is what you want to do and what you're going to do.
Can't say it any better. Ralph, I want to thank you for coming on. It took a while to get here, but we
Thank you
got
for
here.
having me, Mike.
Of course. And I just want to let you know, I do have a new show coming called Mike's Music Corner, and it'll be the meaning behind the music. So, at any point that you release this music and you want to come talk to me, any artist that you want to come talk to me, I listen to the songs. I'll be writing down notes, and we will break it down and get to the core of what that song means or that project.
I
So,
would love to do that. I would love to do that because
so
our music is affirmation based. It's subliminally spiritual and scripture based, as well as mental health based. So I would definitely love to get into, you know, different songs and lyrics and what it's really saying. For
So
sure.
as that music releases, if you want to just give me a heads up via text, Facebook, Instagram, whatever handle you want to use to get in touch with me, we'll set dates. It's premiering next month, September 9th.
Next month, okay.
That's a Thursday, but it's going to be before the game starts because I don't, Miss Remedy Love will be my first guest, my
Love it.
go-to guest. I love her to pieces. And so I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. There was a audience in this whole episode. I have to say, I'll be back. Well, I'll be out here tomorrow with my sports show, Nerd Camp Sports. That'll be at 6 p.m. Thursday. I'll be back here on Honest Hour with Nickel Plated L, and hopefully next Sunday, the finale of the Sunday window for Honest Hour. I'm hoping Moochie tells me she will do the show. Ralph, much love, my brother. I appreciate you. If you need anything, you know where to find me. I love you, bro. You have a good night, and everyone, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Peace.